Hello, everyone. Welcome. Namaste. Welcome to the short answer. It is always great to be with you. I was just kind of getting in the groove with the music and it just had to kind of come down. So, well, we're ready to roll. Okay. I guess that's our cue. So before we get started, I have a few announcements to make, and I want to welcome you if you're joining us for the first time in the short answer. It is an attempt to bring one little point home that you can land, that you can remember, that you can work with, that you can walk with, and hopefully one that will have a long-lasting impact in your life. That's the point. So we're getting to that in just a few moments. First, I want to make a couple of announcements. This coming weekend, we have an amazing level 1 of the energy codes happening. We also have the first immersion gateway of the Live Awake program, which is a year-long program of combining all of the principles and philosophies of the energy codes, but doing it in a different way. We are really working toward introducing a lot of the information, the science, the education around higher consciousness and what's really happening here, and also give you a real emphasis on the experiential process of implementation, application of all that. So if you've taken level 1 before, but you'd love to revisit the information, I assure you an entirely different experience of that information this weekend. And if you're part of the Live Awake program, welcome, and I'm so looking forward to getting that whole year kicked off. So those two programs intersect this weekend inside of the delivery of this content, and then the year-long program, we have lots of immersion and engagements in between all of our levels of the energy codes work. So I wanted to take a group of people through an entire process all year long and see how their lives are transforming and watch how they reap the benefits that the people who have had the most powerful results from this work got them. So it was through repetition and leaning in and diving deeply into the work and really putting it in the forefront of your life. And so that's what I love stewarding, and we're looking forward to that in the Live Awake program. If you're interested in that, the information is in the chat that you'll be able to find and connect with us as well. So in addition to that, in August, I'll be doing another in-person event, and we don't have other in-person events on the calendar until October, which is the Kashi event, which is already sold out. So actually the last opportunity to come to an in-person event that's on the calendar right now is at Skamania. Now that's at the Washington-Oregon border, and it is a lodge called Skamania. And it was originally kind of being produced as a, kind of a summer camp for consciousness to come in and learn all kinds of things in this joyous environment, which it will be all of that. But I'm really drawing an emphasis here into healing levels of anxiety and stress and depression and lack of purpose or focus that are happening with so many people right now on our planet, that I'm really trying to draw the attention into the focus, rather, into that kind of assessment and addressing these kinds of things just to help. Now, it's not going to be oriented around how to overcome anxiety. It's going to be oriented around how to access your true highest self, because when you're tapping into that true highest self, anxiety and fear and frustration and depression are not an option. So it just doesn't happen in that same universe. And so really trying to work with people at this causal level. So we'll be doing that. The dates of that are August 11 through the 15th. So it's several days in a row that we'll be working with healing techniques and transmissions and teaching you how to do things and being in that environment, learning more and more all the time, and then implementing while we're there together in one another's company. So there's nothing quite like being in the room together. Okay, there is also a reminder this evening that we have the healing transmission, the monthly healing transmission coming up on Wednesday, June 29th. and it is at 8:30. From your home, you can dial into a global experience with people from 95 countries around the world that are gathering together to generate and facilitate and accentuate this healing grid of energies that I'm hoping that you are living by, drawing from those energies in between our transmissions and truly remaining tapped in. In fact, that has something to do with the topic tonight. So that is it. And then also, if you are a part of our gold membership, you'll be joining us, at least you'll have the opportunity to join us for the MasterClass after this short answer. We do that every month in conjunction with the short answer. We follow it up with the MasterClass. It is something that we dive more deeply and toss around so many different ideas and weave them together and show you how epigenetics and bioenergetics and the biochemistries of the body and the psychology and the spirituality of you, the conscious and the subconscious are all actually on the same page. And if we learn how to masterfully allow that to be true, we start activating and animating the circuitry of our system that truly allows us to live from a higher state of consciousness. And why do we want to do that? Because when we do that, we don't see life as a problem. We actually manage it along the way in a way that works for us. And as soon as we see that it's not, we lovingly and joyfully step in creatively to transform it into something that we do love, that we do want. And we have the power to do that when we know. So inside of the master class, we're developing all sorts of angles and directives to do that. And it's one of the most cost-effective ways to get plugged into the community and really get your questions answered and have some beautiful interaction time. So that's coming right up after the short answer here at the bottom of the hour. Okay, that's it for my announcements, except I have one more. The announcement that I want to make is the title this evening is about the power is now. The power is right now, and it is you. And it's in this present moment that you actually contain more power than any other moment. When you are present with the situation that you are in, your heart will open. When you're actually present with it, your heart will open automatically. So if you're ever feeling that your heart is shut down and that you are in your head and that you're angst or you're angry or you're frustrated or you're irritated, then just know you're not actually here. If you're actually here, there is love. If you're actually here, you can communicate anything that you need to communicate in a proactive, collaborative fashion that works. And if you're attempting to do such things and it's not working, there's not enough love in the moment that you are experiencing and expressing. The love is there. The question is, are you there? So the power that you possess is right now in the real moment, in any given moment of your life. The ultimate power that you have is to not drag your past and your triggers, your buttons and so forth into this present moment and then attempt to have a better life than you've ever had. That is not the power. The power is not to bring everything that you've ever experienced, either consciously or subconsciously, into this present moment, which means you're bringing with you all of your triggers, all of your buttons, all of your issues, all of your attitudes, all of your knee-jerk reactions that are just waiting to be validated again. You're bringing them right into this moment and then daring life to give you an amazing experience. And the issue is this: the universe doesn't try that hard. It offers up its ability, its willingness, its capacity, and then your mind has the ability to turn it off or turn it on, turn it off or turn it on. And so if you're not having an enjoyable life experience, you're turning it off. You're turning off that potential with your mind, whether you know it or not. So the good news is that demonstrates your power. If you're miserable, it means you're really powerful. Okay? The not so fun news is that you haven't really learned how to turn that on when you really want it on, and you really do want it on when you're as frustrated and angry and whatever at the end of your rope as you get. The good news again is that at any moment in time, you can just decide if you're willing to. You can just decide to let it go and to beginning again in this now moment, to begin again in this now moment. Now, that's the ultimate exercise of one's power. To wield your true power is to be able to relinquish your attitude, your angst, your issue in any given moment and simply be available to the possibility that you were turning that off before instead of someone else being at the steering wheel, in the driver's seat in your life. So whenever you're feeling frustration or angst, or your fuse is short, or you feel desperate inside of a situation, the key is to recognize that I'm feeling this way, and that I am feeling this way means I've either been abdicating my power for too long, or I'm abdicating it just in this moment. And the answer is stop that and come to the present moment with everything that you have and realize right now in this moment, I'm actually okay. Even though I feel all this pressure, or I feel all this angst, or I'm worrying about, did I handle that properly, or is this going to go okay? Rather than doing any of those things, just bring yourself to the present moment and ask yourself a very important question. In this moment, am I okay? Even though I have this list of things that I have to do and these deadlines that are hanging over me, or these stresses that are coming from coworkers or family members or whatever the case may be, or all of the above, that even though all that's happening, in this moment right here, just in this tiny little moment right now, am I okay? Am I actually okay? And I assure you the answer will actually be yes. If you gather yourself from the past and you gather yourself from the future and you come right in here in this now moment, in the now moment, you are completely 100% fully equipped for whatever is occurring, because you are made of the multidimensionality of this entire universe pressed into a body, pressed into physical form. So we know that all physical form is compressed energy, and you are that energy. And the energy that is compressed to generate the you that's this compressed physical body, that energy that is compressed to generate that is the energy of the entire cosmos. Literally, you are the universe, packed into physical structure, packed into physical form. And the beauty of that is you are able to access that infinite amount of essence that you truly are only in this now moment. Not in the past, not in the future, not worrying about it, not fretting about it, not even living from inside that past. Now, here's the deal. Here's where people really get tripped up. We land in a nest, a family nest, etc. Mom, dad, kids, whatever, mom, or dad, however it has rolled out for you. You land in a nest that is perfectly designed for what you are here to master in your life, to realize in your life, to actualize in your life, to realize about you, to actualize about you. And the thing that you're actually here to realize and to actualize is that you are greater than you think you are. You are more than you think you are. You're more capable than you think you are. You're more brilliant than you think you are. And so we spend our lives trying to unpack what gets packed together right inside that nest, because we land in the nest and we get pretty convinced that we're not enough, that we don't measure up, that someone said something or did something that haunts us, and that we've been living in reflection to that for the whole of our lives. And so we show up to this now moment relative to those experiences. And we think, yeah, I'm here wholly, fully here, but it's not the real you that's likely saying that. It's probably the compensated version of you that's making up for whatever it was that happened with your parents, whatever it is that happened with your siblings, whatever it was that happened with that teacher or that preacher or that coach, or whatever the case may have been. Some other kid on the playground might have had an influence that actually impacted you in a very big way. But what we are here to do is to recognize that actually, that reactive version of me is a small piece of who I really am. And there's another version of me that is completely capable, completely loving, completely joyous, completely available, has the answers in the now moment that we need. We don't have to anticipate and worry and fret, that we're right here, wholly, fully a gift as is, not something we have to earn or something we have to find or something that we have to, glean from somewhere else or someone else. It isn't like that. It is not like that. We are wholly full and complete in this now moment. The key is to stay in the now moment. So I got some tips for you, okay? So one thing is to bring it down to this teeny tiny little now millisecond. In this millisecond, am I okay? The answer is always going to be yes. And that's a valuable question and answer cycle for your subconscious to hear and to feel and to experience. Oh, okay, I am, check. I am actually okay in this now moment. Now, another way for you to stay plugged in is to stay plugged in. To stay plugged into the power that you want to have in any given moment, we have to stay literally plugged in. Now, think about it this way. You're a bridge between high frequency consciousness of infinite possibility, dreams and visions and all that we attribute to these divine layers of consciousness, these higher states of being, possibility, the heavens, etc. We're a bridge between that and the grounded application of embodiment and integration and practicality and making life work and making relationships work and making businesses work and all of that. So we're the bridge between this tangible world and this intangible world of infinite possibilities. It's streaming right through this system. So we have to remain plugged in to both. We have to be grounded and plugged into the body and feeling those rich earthly energies and accepting and embracing every fear-based feeling that we have, every wobble that's occurring in our system, every angst that's happening inside of us. We have to be present for them. We don't have to do anything about them, but we do have to be present for them. And interestingly enough, when you're present for them, it is doing everything that you ever need to do about them, because all you ever need to do about them is to embrace them. Embrace the feelings of angst, embrace the feelings of overwhelm, embrace the feelings of frustration or agitation. Just be present with it and breathe and recognize, again, for the subconscious to experience that you can be with that and still be okay is another really good challenge and answer cycle for your subconscious to be made privy to. Because when you can learn that you are actually available and able to be available to anything that's rising, you are in your grounded state and you're staying plugged in to your true power. We also have to stay plugged in to these powers of the divine from overhead, meaning your dreams and your aspirations and what you would love to have be true. If they don't match what your current daily life is showing up like in the physical realm, the good news is you are here. And you are the transforming, transmuting bridge that allows these dreams to come in and infiltrate in to this physical world and the life that you're experiencing in it. You are made of the both and, the solution. So you have to walk around with an awareness of the fact that these dreams and desires are constantly pouring in, and you have to allow them by honoring them, by noticing them, by allowing your inspirations and your intuitions and these inklings to be real and valid for you. And you have to stay plugged in to the earth beneath you so that you are allowing these high frequency energies to have a landing place so that you invent your own new nest. We're here to invent our own new nest. It's like remodeling, renovations. It's the same thing. We're here to create based upon where we landed and what our inspirations are. And in this power of this now moment, we have the ability to do that. Not by thinking about it ahead of time, not by fretting over it after it's already gone. Literally, you guys, it's about bringing it all right here. and ask yourself, am I showing up as a creator in my life? Or am I interpreting my now moment through the lens of my past and what parents have said to me, or things that didn't get said to me, or what brothers or sisters implied, or what was insinuated, or the conclusions that I somehow came up with? I assure you that if there is pain in your now moment, that is what's going on. And if it's not that, it's that you're living in angst and anticipation of something that's coming in the future. But that futuring issue is almost always a result of this pasting issue. So if we could be nowing instead, we would actually be living as the creative force on this planet that we are meant to be. So make sure that you're not leaning into the future or leaning way over here and dragging this past along, and that you can just feel yourself plugged into the earth beneath you and allowing this amazing stream of energy that is pouring through your system to do exactly that without it being altered and made into the nest that you came from. It's supposed to pour in, and you bring the information from the nest that you came from only so that you know how to generate and stabilize a brand new course of action that you came onto this planet to deliver. You came to carve a pathway. So allow the power of this now moment to be what fuels your ingenuity, your creativity, and your ability to show up as the true self that you were intended to be. We're here to make a new impression about images and roles and dynamics and relationships and structures. And the only way that we can do that is if we're actually in our loving power. So if love has been slipping through the cracks and you've been, in some kind of angsty anything, let's just check in and allow the true whole you to come through. And it can only do it, you guessed it, right here in this now moment. That's where the power is, the power of you. So hopefully this will be helpful. You'll plug back in. If you're unplugged ever, just recognize it doesn't take anything. Just begin again with your breathwork practices. Meet me on the yoga mat for body awake yoga tomorrow morning. And the system is automatically geared to allow for the reactivation of all that you truly, truly are. So blessings to you all. It's always a joy. I'll see you in just a few moments at the bottom of the hour in the MasterClass. Bring your questions because I'm delighted to tie them together in our one big answer. Blessings to you all. Namaste. Bye for now.